30. So, on today's topics, we're going to be talking about Bethesda telling you, just turn down your settings, guys. It's going to make your game run so much better. And
It will though.
more DLC coming our way to Ark. Yay.
Not my way.
More
No,
DLC.
it's
Sure as
passing.
hell not my way.
No, I'm standing on the sidewalk and it's blowing by and I'm just waiting for.
It's blowing by. You're like, nope, not today. Nope,
No.
I don't think so. I don't blame you though. I mean, it's kind of shit, right? Like we were talking about that a while back when they were bringing out a new, what was it? A whole new thing in the middle of their developing or refining their game, which they still haven't done, by the way. Yeah. Let's see. Let me get the exact article up here. It is. Ark is getting cybernetic power suits and laser cannon dino helmets in its first tech tier update. So.
That just
Architect tier update.
when are they going to actually release the damn game?
It's just a long string of DLC before they finish the game.
At this point, I'm not thinking it's ever actually going to come out of early access. They're just going to stay there indefinitely. Just it's almost like whenever you approve a toll road in your state. It's supposed to be the toll was supposed to go away once the toll road's paid off, but they just continue adding more toll roads and adding more to it. So it just seems like it's going to be an indefinite thing with this.
Well, they're saying that this is supposed to be patched in the original game. So I was wrong.
Oh.
I
it's actually going to be free DLC.
I am wrong. Well, they're saying it's supposed to be patched into the tech tree of the original game. This is supposed to go into next year as path to version 1.0. So
They're just now at the version 1.0?
I guess. I don't know.
Wow.
I personally have not played this game forever. Like I got it on PC. I got it when it was on sale for about $10. It was on, I think it was on a Kingwin deal. And I thought, yeah, this looks all right. Runs like shit, but it's okay. I could turn shit down. I could modify it because it does. It gives you a lot. It gives you a lot of options to make your game run good. But that's kind of where it stopped for me because even when you have everything situated, the optimization as far as the way it runs when you have everything set up, it kind of sucks still. Like the frame dippage is still pretty bad. There are times where you can get around huge numbers of dinosaurs in one area and you're fine. And then other times where it just bogs the shit down to no end. And you can't even move. It's like a fucking play-by-play screen. It's weird. That's why it's very inconsistent. And this is why I believe they should be working on that more so than adding shit to the game, breaking it further. That just to me means, common sense would be, that'd be good, but whatever. At least it's not paid DLC like I thought it was. Like I said, I just glanced over the article, so I am wrong. I apologize. But still, I would rather them try to fix the game's current issues. That would be good for me. That would be good for you. That would be good for anybody who actually bought this game.
They should, definitely. I got the game with one of my Humble Bundles or whatever.
Yeah.
And I've never even bothered to actually open it or anything like that. It never. I guess a lot of people were saying that a lot of problems with it in the beginning, so I just never really even bothered to even try it out because of the fact that there was like so many problems in the very beginning when I first got it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there are people with your guys' build. There are people with your guys' builds that are having issues with it. I don't know. It's just all over the place. It'd be nice for it to just be kind of toned down a bit, at least. Just tone it down a little bit. Don't let it bounce all over the place in the performance spectrum, for fuck's sakes. That would be great. And you said you didn't. You're like, fuck this game, right, Rags? You're like, no.
Look, when it comes to Ark,
Yeah, absolutely.
when it's just, I mean, why would I want to buy into it now? Why would I want to spend money on it now? It's not even done, and there's DLC. I mean, what was that? What's the first investment for? And what's the entrance fee for if they're not going to finish the main game before they start releasing DLC?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, now can you actually buy it right now without actually having to purchase this, like the DLC separate? Like, is there a price for the game? Since I own it, I can't see the price, or I haven't really actually looked to see the price.
Yeah, there's
actually.
still a price for the
But is
game.
there-
You could still get it by itself.
So you can still get the base. Okay, so you can still get the base game.
Yeah. And
I don't know.
There are people saying that they still saw, even in the base game, some of the DLC aspects of it. So I don't know if it's required. Maybe it's required for you to tame or to, get some stuff. But I really don't know how it works. Because personally, like I said, I played it for a very short period of time and then I stopped playing it. So developers for Dishonored 2 tell you the very thing that we all already know. Please turn down your PC settings for your Dishonored 2. I find this
Turn down my PC.
Turn it down for what?
Turn down for what?
Exactly. I think it's kind of funny. I really do.
What is it? What do you mean by turn it down? Like tone down the graphics?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Your settings on your game settings, they want you
If your
to turn it
FPS is
down.
low, turn down the settings.
Yes, this is something that I think is kind of funny that developers are telling you to do.
Shouldn't people know that?
That's my point. That's my point.
What the hell?
So Dishonored 2 currently has 2,500 reviews on Steam and is 54% positive, which means it's not being received very well at all. This is also the first release from Bethesda ever since they instituted their no review codes for reviewers policy, which we already talked about, and it's stupid, it's awful, it's ridiculous,
It's terrible.
and dumb.
Yep.
And sure enough, the next game they release has issues at launch. What a shocker. I'm so surprised. My goodness. I did not see this coming at all.
I really don't know what they were thinking with that whole situation, though, honestly. Like, I know we kind of all...
They want to hide bad releases.
We
reviewers
all
can get
shit
them
on it.
out.
I remember we all shit on it, and rightfully so.
Well,
but
not all of us shit on it.
Oh, well, I don't know. I know I did. I did. I don't agree with it. I think it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know why they were like, oh, let's cut out the beta process altogether. Let's do away with, I don't know, fucking quality control situations that we don't have to pay for, really. We just give somebody a game and they'd be happy as fuck to play it for us for hours on end and give us feedback. I don't know what the problem with that is. Indie developers have been doing this shit for years. Now Bethesda are all of a sudden above that. I don't know. I think it's a terrible mistake personally, but anyways.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm even talking about this, like I was just telling Rambo, you guys, back when Battlefield 3 first came out, one of the biggest issues at the time that everybody was talking about was the lack of mods. Because in Battlefield 2, the original, you could do mods. Well, in this particular situation, EA handled the situation pretty poorly. And they brought out this article, and they were pretty much talking down to PC gamers, saying, our engine is pretty complicated. PC gamers will not understand it. Now, I don't know. I'm not trying to say that they're insulting people, but telling people...
I think you're just being too proud of their engine.
Yeah. I think they're
good,
over...
runs well, looks good, but...
Yeah. They're making it sound like it's this fucking overly complicated thing when it's not. I mean, we are talking about a generation of PC gamers who modded fucking old-ass games. I mean... to sit there and say that people wouldn't get it, they could have just said, hey, we're not going to allow modding. That's all they had to say, really. But whatever. Let's see. It doesn't bode well with yeah, I agree with you, Aaron. It doesn't bode well for future Elder Scrolls and Fallout games. I agree with that 100%. Considering those games are always plagued on PC with launch issues and they are never all the time fixed. In fact, I would say most of the issues that people were complaining about on Fallout 3 still exist, just like some of the quest lines in Oblivion to this day are still broken. They are really
Because
bad at going back and fixing their shit.
No, they always just wait for the modders to fix it.
Which should not be happening.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's just whatever it is. Whatever it is, what it is how people say it, right, guys? It is what it is. Any particular games you guys are looking forward to in the near future? Or did you guys already get pretty much everything that you want?
Well, there are a few coming out soon. There is
Watch Dogs 2.
Killing Floor 2 is about to have its official release soon.
Which game is it for you? Watch Dogs 2?
Yeah.
And Rags?
There's Killing Floor 2 is going to have its full release soon.
Yeah.
We also have Space Hulk Deathwing coming out in December.
That looks actually really good.
It looks fantastic. Cannot wait. I really hope it's good because I really want a good Warhammer game.
Yeah.
Looks like a really good game. Somebody bought it for me, so I'm very excited to get my hands on it once it releases.
Absolutely. Hell yeah, that's awesome.
There is, I guess Dishonored 2 is already out. I may end up getting it. What else do we have that's coming up? I don't one of the things that I don't normally really try to focus on games that are coming out or haven't come out yet, because then I get excited for them and hyped for them. I try to kind of avoid that. Sometimes, one stands out, but for the most part, I don't really go out and look for things coming out or things like that. Also, my browsers or my tabs in Google Chrome just aren't loading. They're just perpetually trying their best. So close all windows and let's try this over.
Sorry, go ahead, Rambo.
None of my
No, the NES Mini came out.
Yeah, and people are evidently buying that shit up.
Yeah, well, my wife actually said today whenever she went in, there was 15 people in line, and they had been in line for 4 hours, waiting on, I guess, them to bring the NES Minis out from the back.
Yeah.
And there's pictures of people, like I say, bought 14 of them. I don't know if they did that at all at one store, where they went around to different stores and just picked them all up. And now they're turning around and selling them. There's some going for $150 all the way up to like $9,000.
Damn.
On eBay, because they're in high demand, and I don't know if they're even gonna like come out again. But I'm just not sure like if it's worth that. I mean, maybe even if it's worth even rushing out to stand in line for 4 hours for it.
That's kind of ridiculous.
There are a few things that I would stand in line for 4 hours for. And a new old console is not on the list.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even. I mean, it only comes with 30 games, and like Duck Hunt's not one of them. I mean, it's a very conservative.
If only there was a way to play all these games from the comfort of my home on my personal computer.
Oh, if only.
I know. I wish. Then I wouldn't have to stand in line. Damn. Oh well. Until that day comes, I guess I'll browse on eBay for one.
So did either one of you hear about the CG Projekt Red possible takeover? It was a rumor there for a minute.
Yeah, I heard the rumor, and I was like,
rumor.
"No, they wouldn't do.
What they're saying is they are not being taken over or anything like that. But what they're doing is just trying to secure their future in case anything bad happens. So what they're doing is they're looking for a little insurance, pretty much, so that way they don't have anything that would happen like that to have happen. So they're looking for a way to keep their bottom line secure, which is a good idea. Actually, that's a smart idea. Any thoughts on that? I mean, what would you think if, say, like an EA did take them over, or God forbid, an Activision?
I would instantly no longer care about Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
because I knew they would fuck it up.
Yeah,
you say God forbid Activision, but God forbid EA.
Oh, right.
If EA was the publisher of The Witcher 3, it would have been half the size, and half of it would have been DLC. because they're like, gosh, there's so much stuff in this game you guys made. There's no way we're gonna sell this to people for $60, $50. No. We're gonna split this off into like 7 DLCs,
which is, as we know, is typical business practice for EA.
And Blood and Wine's like 20 hours. I still haven't got to it. Blood and Wine's 20 hours. Hearts of Stone was like 12 hours for me. So shit, they can just split those DLCs up into 2 even smaller DLCs, and you have to pay every time you get your hair cut because your beard grows in real time. Who knows? I
would have gone nuts too, dude. I'm not big into CD Projekt Red stuff, but just knowing the kind of work they put into their titles to be bottlenecked by a shitty corporation, that would have driven me nuts. Because, you know, it's already like these two companies already have practically a monopoly over pretty much all the good developers. It sucks, actually. I mean, look at what Black Isle, when they were around, Dark Alliance and Dark Alliance 2 D&D developers. They also did, what is it, Dragon Crystal or whatever, for PC back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Dragon Shard, I mean. They did that one. I mean, they were a pretty good developing company. And I think EA, if I remember correctly, after Dragonstone, they fucking drove them into the ground. I don't want to see any more companies go through that fucking debacle. It's really disheartening because a lot of these guys, they start this business off loving what they do, and then they get fucking pile drived into the dirt, into nothingness, and they lose it. They're like, fuck this. I don't want to be a part of this anymore. And I want to see that to happen to The Witcher. The Witcher may not be my favorite series or not, but I know a lot of motherfuckers that really love that game, and I would just be pissed for them more than anything.
They're also Warhammer End Times Vermintide to add a free standalone VR level exclusive to the HTC Vive. The game that is so good, which has a huge problem with its loot system that doesn't get people to keep playing the game, is also suffering from a lack of levels. The levels are good that are in there, but there's just not really enough of them because they're very oftentimes linear and not terribly long. And they decide to make another level exclusive to shit that nobody has. This is why your game doesn't keep its players.
Yep.
Fat Shark is the ones who make it. And like, this is why I think today it got up to like 2,500 players.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's way higher than it used to be. But I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's like, this is why your game. This is why I don't really play it anymore, because there's not a high enough population for me to consistently get into games, and the loot system's just shite. And so I don't feel like I want to play to grind for anything really cool or nifty. I mean, they half-assed it with the loot at the end of the games, kind of like Battlefield 1 does with battle packs in a way.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like going back to the game right now until they fix it, because they have such an excellent platform to add
tons of loot,
DLCs,
lots and lots of loot,
to add expansions, to have interesting loot and reason to go back to
that
it, but
game,
they're just not taking that route.
That game should have had the same loot system that most ARPGs like Diablo and Torchlight have, where they literally put thousands upon thousands of set pieces in there that are hard as fuck to get and requires playthrough. That would be fucking awesome.
Even if the levels had like 1 or 2 in them every time you played through, and you had to look for them, you had to go around and open the chest, and there's always a small chance of a piece of loot, and you'd pick it up and you could carry it with you or whatever. I mean, there's just stuff like that, stuff that's not unheard of. I just don't know what they're thinking from a design aspect. It's almost like sometimes the people who make these video games have never played them once in their life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was thinking in the loot sense, like, it would give each character a unique look. For instance, you play Diablo 2.
People were asking for armor, yeah.
Yeah, you look at Diablo 2, right? You never see, like, 2 or 3 of the same exact barbarian or the sorceress or the necro, because they have so much fucking loot in that game, dude. Like, I mean, I'll put it this way. I've been playing Diablo 2 off and on since it launched, okay? probably over 4,000 now hours into the game, and I've never once had the same character have the full same set pieces. So if they did something like that in Vermintide, that would be fucking epic. People would actually want to play a game to collect armor pieces and weapons, and you'd look awesome. I mean, some people do it for aesthetics. Some people do it to have higher damage yields. I mean, it would just be a better experience for a lot of people that are into stuff like that. Unfortunately, from what you've told me, they haven't done that, and it's kind of a letdown because that was a good opportunity for them to do that. They could have had fun with the armor, the weapons.
Crossplay.
Yep, crossplay.
Which was never a thing. They said it wasn't technically feasible. I'm like, bullshit, it's not. You just don't want to put in the work.
Yep. Oh,
whenever I hear Fat Shark now, I'm like, they don't want to put in the work. That's what Fat Shark is. Fat Shark's lazy.
Steam code incoming. 120p master race, huh?
That's why I like to play my games in 120p. That I get to like 12,000 FPS. So I mean,
so smooth.
It is. It's like it's like butter. I mean,
yum.
That's awesome. Yeah. Oh yeah. Did you see the new? You guys see the trailer for the new Warhammer Dawn of War that's coming out? That actually looks.
I
pretty
have not.
sick.
That's one. Warhammer games is just not something I've ever actually been into because they're the ones I've always seen were always like weren't they like RTS if I'm remembering Warhammer correctly?
Yeah. Well, they got like Warhammer's a series that has like almost all of the genres covered. They have the ARPGs that are the isometric style. They have the third-person action, then they have the first-person action, and then they have like 4 or 5 RTS spin-offs of the different types of stories. And Dawn of War was like the first, along with all of their expansions, and then they released the Sisters of War, or whatever they're called, which was pretty cool. Which they're like the female version of the Space Marines. Looks pretty cool. All together, though, like, if you were to actually get into the story, like, there's too much to get into. Like, you would have to actually pick a sect and then try to stick with that sect.
See, I think my problem was that whenever I was introduced to Warhammer, everybody kept showing me the RTS, and so now
you're
when I hear
like,
Warhammer, when I hear that name, it just like it triggers RTS. So I'm like thinking, no, I'm not even interested. But I got to check out. I think wasn't it you, Rags, that actually was mentioning one of the Warhammer games you were talking about earlier? Maybe was like a third person game, or actually even maybe a first person shooter type game.
What was
that Space Hulk or whatever?
Yeah, it was one of those actually like to where it's not RTS, one of those Warhammer games you were talking about.
Well, there's 2 that I've played that aren't that are shooters. One of them is Space Marine, which is really good. It's old, but it's really good. It's a third-person shooter. And Space Hulk Deathwing is a first-person shooter.
Okay.
And it'll be out
I'm
December
gonna
9th.
try those out. I mean, because I don't mind that. I've got to be able to give it a chance with that and get past the name Warhammer, because I just when I hear it, I automatically think that you know.
And well, they also have the action figures, like the little statuettes with the move dials underneath them. Dude, it is a huge thing. Like, seriously. I know in California, when I lived out there, they had a place called Mile High Comics in Anaheim. And it was a huge, huge ordeal. We're talking people would bring in battlefields based on the lore that they read. And we're talking foam board, redwood buildings, little miniature brick walls, move grids, the whole 9 yards. And they would get so into this. We're talking campaigns, dude, that people would play for literally days on end. It was ridiculous. And it was right up there with Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering being a whole other game I know, but it was just as much adored as it was with Warhammer in this place. It was ridiculous. People go as far as painting the figures. So, like, you could get a blank canvas statuette and you could paint your own war theme on there, which is kind of cool, actually. You paint your own war theme. You set up your dial the way you want it. You could choose the number type of text and all kinds of stuff. And people get really super hardcore into it. They spend thousands upon dollars on this hobby. It's a pretty expensive hobby. Oh, wow. Yeah, dude. Like, it's crazy.
The only thing I know about like Magic the Gathering or anything like that is like that big, huge YouTuber that is like huge into, like, I think his whole channel is based on Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Got banned from everything Magic the Gathering.
Really?
Yeah, it was some story that apparently like he knew somebody or whatever within the that passed out like extra codes or whatever,
Wow.
or extra packs and
Are you
like
talking about
I
the thing
guess
that happened with Sargon interviewed the guy?
it might have been him. 'Cause I
Yeah.
know Boogie talked about him too. I didn't see the Sargon video. I heard Boogie talk about him, and then I kind of heard his video, a little bit excerpts from it. But like
That's terrible.
it was some kind of weird thing to where like he like got a code, but people, the company didn't want him to have it. And I don't know. He ended up doing a video on it. Got caught. Like they ended up like finding out, and then completely banned him from the community altogether. And he was like the largest Magic the Gathering YouTuber. I mean, he has like a huge he had a huge following.
That sucks.
Obviously, I don't know the full story, but I mean that was.
I think part of it revolved around he made like a harmless joke.
Yeah, he
If
made like a
someone-
harmless joke on Twitter. Yes, and somebody took offense to it, and then there you go.
Bro, like Magic the Gathering was one of those games that I played when I was in school. It was a huge thing when I was going to school. That was
Still really big.
This was during this was during when they first launched what they called alpha and it was alpha and beta. They were pretty good sets, and then 5th edition, Ice Age, so on. Like this game was so good that nobody in my class wanted to focus on the teacher. Like we literally like ignored the fucking teacher to play this game. And it got to a point where they ended up trying to ban the game, and then we ended up starting some sort of club. This was all like before. This was all pre 8th grade, by the way. Like this is, man, good memories. Good memories. I won't go too much into this. I could talk about Magic all fucking day. So yeah, that's awkward. I didn't know about this channel. That sucks that he got banned over a
Yeah, I mean
joke.
it was a while back, but I mean it was like some sort of off-color joke or whatever that I guess his sense of humor, and then I don't know, it got taken out, blew up like way out of context, or whatever. It ended up causing a whole lot of problems, and then ended up causing him to eventually be banned like completely from the community.
Yeah, I bet.
Which
you
that was a huge.
By politically
huge thing
correct,
from him.
dumb fucked too. I bet.
I can only imagine. I mean,
that's terrible, dude. That's
state of the world that we live in.
Yeah, I was talking about political correctness today with a few of my friends, and I was like, look, I said, if we're talking and we're friends and we're joking around, we shouldn't be worried about political correctness. If you want to sit here and start shit with me because you think what I said is wrong, that's one thing. I said, hold on. What? Good night, baby. Huh? Yeah. Anyways, so we were talking, and I was like, why do I need to be politically correct around you if we're joking around and we're friends? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Political correctness should only be used mainly, if ever, in actual debates. Debates that mean something, like political or even religious debates. And you don't want to, turn it into a shit-throwing contest. That's where political correctness should be used, not in basic conversation.
Yeah, it's not like you can get to be president being politically incorrect or anything.
Hey, you know what though? Okay, so let's talk about that real quick. I wasn't going to, but did anybody see the Obama situation with him? Like, I think the gravity of the situation is finally hitting him.
So like, oh shit.
Yeah. Like his facial expressions when he was in that room with him, like he looked like he just realized he's president. Everything
I'm sure
okay,
it's
Rambo?
still sinking in.
Rambo, you there? Uh-oh. Something happened.
Yeah. Oh well.
It's all right. He'll get it figured out. Yeah, so that was interesting because it looked like there's a certain part where he's sitting down and he's got his hands around his face. He looks like he literally just realized he's president.
You're like, oh shit, this worked.
I mean, you got to remember, these guys were going back and forth, since 2010?
Donald Trump.
and then, and then here he is, all this time later, shaking hands with the guy that he was shitting on through all these campaigns.
It had to be an awkward fucking meeting.
Yeah. Well, him and Obama were both saying this was only supposed to be last for maybe 15 minutes. And it turned out that they actually liked each other, and it was like an hour and some odd minutes later.
Well, you did hear that after meeting with Donald Trump, Donald Trump's position on like completely repeal and replace of Obamacare, that he has actually chosen to more than likely leave in the part about where insurance companies cannot discriminate against you for having pre-existing conditions.
That's a good thing.
That's the only part that he actually left in. But I mean, of course,
everything else sucks about it, though.
All these articles are coming out like, he's gonna leave it. He's gonna leave it. Like, no, God, just y'all. People just don't listen. But
hey, that's why I'm staying away from Facebook for 30 days, you guys, because of that shit.
When it comes to political correct, my thought process is that I shouldn't have to worry about you being offended. I don't care if you do get offended. That's your choice to get offended, not mine. That's your problem to deal with, not mine. I'll say what I want to say however I want to say it, and you can deal with your feelings however you want to deal with your feelings.
Yeah.
But you're in control. You're in control of that, not me. So I wake up in the morning. If I'm out in the public and I say something and my wife is like, "Oh, don't say that." I'm like, I'll say whatever I want to say. I'm like, I don't care what these other people think or what they feel like, because it's them that has to deal with their feelings, not me.
Right. Right.
Somebody brought up in the chat though while we were talking. Not Dishonored 2, but the port of Dishonored was a crappy port. Now I have Dishonored on the original Dishonored on Steam.
Yeah.
And it's overwhelmingly positive. Now I don't know where he was actually, like, where it was coming from. Did they actually release the definitive edition, like Dishonored Definitive Edition, on Steam as well? It wouldn't seem like they would do that. I didn't find it myself. I mean, whenever I looked it up just a minute ago, but I was having mic trouble, so I kind of started doing that. But do y'all know anything about that?
On the port? No, I really don't.
Okay, they do. They actually released the Dishonored Definitive Edition.
Was that the one that was supposed to fix it?
No, I mean there was nothing wrong with actually the first one, like the actual game.
So the definitive edition is the fuck up then.
Yeah, the definitive edition apparently is the fuck up. And but I'm trying to see here. I don't see the reviews on this one.
Aaron Wuschenhagen says, "I can't wait to tell my grandkids about how he shit posted a man into the Oval Office." like he's not wrong, you know.
Oh, Byron. Okay, Dishonored 2. Yeah, we talked about Dishonored 2, Byron. Yeah, about it. Okay, that's what you were referring to when you said Dishonored. I was wondering. I was like, going, well, Dishonored. The one I have is actually a pretty decent port, but yeah, we talked about Dishonored 2 being not well received as far as the reviews on them.
Yeah.
Something else that. How is Stardew Valley?
It is crack cocaine. I don't have it installed because I will not play anything else.
I've actually installed the crack cocaine mod. It adds a whole new level to the game.
Now, is it a game that I can play with people, or is it a game I play by myself?
I think they just add the multiplayer, didn't they?
Yourself.
I think they actually just added the multiplayer not so long ago. Hold on. Let me double check that. I don't want to be wrong. Pretty sure they did. Let me pull up Steam here real quick. Go to my library. Stardew. Stardew Valley, baby. That game is addicting.
Well, I'm just wondering. I mean, like, because I have so many games, like more than I think I could probably ever play. If I quit buying games at this point, I think I have more games that I could play.
In a lifetime?
2 years. Yeah, or for a lifetime, depending on how long I live. So I mean, that's the reason why I get this humble bundle. Like almost every one of the games I either have or just I'll never get to. But the way you're talking about Stardew Valley is something that maybe is going to require a lot of time, or going to suck me into it.
Yeah, it honestly, like, okay, so let me give you a little bit of a. So I got 40 hours into the game personally, and that was playing straight through. Okay, I know life the game, if you remember, with a few of our old friends. They at the time didn't allow you to place your farm or your housing or your buildings wherever you wanted. In fact, it was pretty much stationary where you placed everything. Well, now they have it set up to where you literally can have your own customization to it. They have allowed you to put in your own custom feel to the game instead of going by with what they give you, which is going to make it worse for me. This will make me go into stupidity with this game. It's like Animal Crossing meets Farmville. Take all the bad shit out of Farmville and take all the bad shit out of Animal Crossing and stick it together, and that is what Stardew Valley is. You can turn it into an action RPG if you want, go and do dungeons and stuff, but you can't get away with only doing that. You actually have to have actual income coming in from your farming product. So you could be selling eggs, you could be selling resources from what you're growing on your crop. Seasons actually matter. Overall, the game is quite addicting. You can get married, you can fall in love with anybody, you could be gay, you could be whatever you want to do. The game will let you do it, and it's pretty cool. So,
well, I just put the code in the chat for the game because I just realized that it sounds like a really fun game. But it sounds like one that is going to keep, like, kind of like Destiny, that's going to keep me kind of focused for a while. And I'm already trying my best to kind of break away from Destiny to where I can start playing like my Dishonored 2, my Watch Dogs 2 when it comes out. And I just figured that, that I don't need another game like that because I still haven't played The Witcher 3 because I already know what's going to happen with that. I'm going to be stuck on that for probably a good few months. And I want to be able to kind of clear out. I want to try to clear out some of my library, like the must plays that I want to play, and then start on The Witcher 3, so that way I can actually just focus on that and not feel like that I'm, not playing a game.
Play.
Huh?
Witcher 3 is must play.
Yeah, I know it's a must play, but I'm saying I like Dishonored 2. I can finish that one. You can just finish it and be gone. Watch Dogs 2 is coming out. I know I'm gonna want to play that. And I don't want to be able to start say Witcher 3 now. I haven't even touched Dishonored 2 or Watch Dogs 2 coming out next Tuesday. And then when those come out, have to break away from the Witcher story to go into those stories and then come back. I would like to be able to stay on Witcher and just play it all the way through, so that way I'm stuck within the realm or within the folklore of the story.
What's up, Max Settings? The stream out note. Tonight and last night was definitely weird. Yo, you need Infinite on here. Yeah, if Infinite would fucking come around when we're on, yeah, he could be in here. I don't mind when he's in here. Crazy Aussie PC gamer that we all love. It's all good. And Curious Orca. Dude, you are on the fucking money with that code, dude. Like, you had that shit as soon as Rambo posted it. It was yours. Because I saw what's his face post underneath you that somebody already got it, and I was like, damn, that was fast. Yeah, the Sony guys hate him, and it's stupid. It really is. It's dumb.
I hate who?
Oh, Infinite Retro, the guy that we had in here once, I think twice, maybe. He gets
something about.
Huh?
Did he not agree with the Sony guys or something sometimes?
Oh, no, not at all. It's nothing like that at all. It's what it is he has an entire Sony fan base that trolls him all the time now. See, the thing is Infinite Retro used to be a hardcore Sony guy. Well, guess what? He woke up. He's now on PC side of things. And the Sony community don't quite like that very much.
No, it's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, evidently.
That's what happened to me. I mean, I was a console guy. I wasn't really just a Sony guy, but I mean, that's where I played primarily because of the two consoles. That's where you had the better version of the two consoles.
Yeah.
But when I switched to PC, my God, I got so much damn hate. Like it's almost like I killed their child and held their other one, for ransom. And I'm like going, man, it's just I'm just playing the same games you are, just on a different platform. Who cares? I didn't talk shit to them about you're below me or beneath me or nothing like that. Just as soon as they heard that I switched to PC, it's like hate came my way.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird thing too. Like that doesn't make any sense as to why anybody would care that much about your gaming preference. I mean, I can understand it to a degree. Like I would say the first week of him going through it was more than justified because of the hypocrisy, right? So that's fine. He went through his thing. They should have just let it go after that. But now we're talking, this is almost a full year's worth, and they're still going. Funny thing
it wouldn't be our favorite. So many people would it at the.
Oh no, but there is one of the writers of the Horsemen that I know. That's probably one of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I find it kind of hilarious that these guys take it that seriously. Now, mind you, this is a generation of people that got chastised by the Xbox community and the PC community during the PlayStation 3 days. And they didn't like it. They played victim a lot. They cried wolf. They were literally the crybabies of the groups. Now here they are doing the same thing that they hated most. They're doing the same exact thing, and it's kind of ridiculous. Like I said, the first week was understandable, but now we're going on a full year. The guy made like another channel, and they're like tracking him down every time he goes anywhere. So it's like, he just rolls with it now. He doesn't care. Yeah, they do. They talk shit about his kids. It's kind of weird. Like, why would you want to bring someone's family up in this shit? That's so stupid.
Are the kids hot?
No.
Okay.
You fucking dirty birdie. New on Steam, you don't know how to do a free game for that. Huh. Go ahead, Rambo. What were you gonna say?
I was just sad that like people take this gaming thing to that level.
Yeah.
Games aren't supposed to be. I mean, it's not like life or death, or like a big decision that's going to affect somebody's life as far as for the good or for the worse. It's just a video game. We were actually playing. I mean, speaking of that, I mean, this one of the things. Like a lot of people won't play with kids. Like if there's a kid in the party or whatever, I mean, you'll have the adults that are. I refuse to play with anybody under the age of whatever, and then you're done. So I was playing Destiny today, and this kind of like led into that. We were playing the raid with some kids, and one of the guys like was in there was like having some mic problems, and it was a lot of communication problems, so he had to go.
Yeah.
So we went to LFG, was looking for another guardian to come in, and when he came in, we explained to the guys like, look, half the people in here are kids. They've done the raid before besides one, and we're trying to just get that one through it. So we're here to help them out, but they know what they're doing. He's like, okay, cool. Well, at one point I think we had a wipe, and one of the kids ran up and kind of just punched the boss in the face or whatever until he died, till the kid died, and was like saying, come on, you'll come at me, like joking around. And the guy actually just said, shut the fuck up. Like I was like going, what the hell? I mean, why are you going to treat a kid like that just because they're having fun playing a game? I mean, it's a game. When did gaming become so serious like that to where you go attack some kids or somebody's kids, or you because of their choice, or you treat kids like that in a game simply for just being a kid, not for anything else, but just simply for being a kid.
And see, like, I mean, I understand getting annoyed, right? I do. I get it.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
But to sit there and like bust out on a kid like that, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if I could do it. I mean, Call of Duty is one thing. You're talking trash to everybody. You're not aiming it really towards anybody in particular. You're just running your mouth, pretty much. That's one thing.
That's a competitive scene. You're going back.
Right, and this is Destiny we're talking about.
Yeah,
this
we're talking a raid. We're talking a team.
This isn't MLG. This isn't dude. These same kind of mindsets do the same shit in World of Warcraft. Like they will go they will get insane on you. They will go as far as trying to fucking track your account down and get your shit banned. I mean, I don't know. I think some people take these games a little too seriously. If you're not MLG and you're not making a paycheck on it, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you shouldn't be to that level of disdain to somebody if you're
Yeah,
not. I mean, I still wouldn't
I
say
agree
you'd
with
even be
that.
at that
Right.
point, even if you were MLG. But I mean, you could have a little bit more understanding because there's money on the line. But just to sit back and play a game, I mean, when did gaming not become the fun it used to be? Like where you could just game and have a good time.
I just want to let everybody know. make America make America great again. The Trump presidency is on sale for $1.49 on Steam.
Wait a minute, I gotta buy this game now.
I just saw this and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, oh my gosh! And you could do. Oh, that's where you get the emoticon from. It says new profile backgrounds and new emoticon. This comes with the game. I can guarantee you right now the only reason why people are buying this game are for those 2 items only.
Yeah. Probably so.
Thank the SJWs. He is
buying it now.
Assault is glorious.
I love how you can buy and sell countries. What the fuck? Like, these guys have a really harsh representation of what's really gonna happen. Funny, but
Everyone does. I'm black. He's gonna send me to Africa. Yeah, that's what he's totally going to do.
Yeah, and that, like, I don't even know where they come up with where they come up with that because like he never.
They heard it once and didn't question it.
Well, no, I mean like I actually shared a video, and I'll actually find the video on my page and then link it into the chat, you know, in the Discord. But it was a video of like to where I don't know, y'all probably have seen this group. It's called Now This. They do a lot of different videos on Facebook a lot. I think they actually have a channel on YouTube as well. But it was talking about like the Trump, where his speech was, he was talking about illegal immigrants, and I mean the way they chopped it up. And mainstream media did it too, because I mean I've seen that like with CNN as well. But the way they chopped it up, somebody actually that's not a Trump supporter actually focused on that and dissected it, like pulled up the original thing, and then like showed what Donald Trump actually said in contrast to what they tried to make you think he said. And it's just a stark difference. I mean, why do people just like all of a sudden just, I mean, I talked to Brim about it, but whether you're for or against Trump or whether you're for or against Hillary, why do you, no matter what it is that you see on TV, like why do you automatically just buy into the media?
Yeah, it's.
I mean, it's with anything. I mean, like they control what you think. So that right there, no matter what the issue is, should make you want to go out and find out if what they're saying is true.
My answer for everything is just usually lack of self-awareness. I'm not even kidding. I usually use that for every scenario because it's true. People who are self-aware are usually 9 times out of 10 logical thinkers. They'll look into things. They'll do what they can to investigate as much as possible before sucking the teat of the person saying these preposterous fucking statements, right? People who aren't, on the other hand, self-aware, they will eat up anything that their favorite media stream will tell them. I mean, media has gotten so bad that the mainstream media has sort of dipped into the social media side of things too much. So much so that some of these guys are trying to get some of these YouTubers paid and partnered with them. So investigations are going to be a little bit more long and arduous to do, but it's going to be worth it for you in the end to do so. You look at ABC, Fox News, the typical retard networks of America. MSNBC. These fucking, everybody calls us deplorables because of who we voted for. But these are the same stupid motherfuckers that popularized racism and driving that wedge between everybody. People will sit there and say it was somebody with a camera that did that. No, it was the person that was reporting the story and only told half the truth that did that. Because when you actually read or look up the other half of these stories that these dumb fucking networks report on, then you start to realize, oh, what do you know? There is more than one side of this story. But Fox News didn't want to share that bit, did they? No. MSNBC didn't want to go ahead and fill in the part where the black guy attacked the officer, or how there was a gun pulled on the officer. No, it was the officer that shot the black guy who was unarmed. Like, come the fuck on.
Yeah, it just. I mean, I know it fits the person's belief and narrative that they believe. Like, if I believe that, say, black people are violent, when Fox News or that makes basically it'd be Fox News, but Fox News showed me the video of the black guys the black people beating up the white man that voted Trump, I would automatically go, yeah, that's it. I mean, that's like I guess the human reaction or what they've conditioned a lot of people to do. But there's actually a lot of stories that they're even coming out with, whether it be MSNBC, CNN, Fox, that show like where either the supporters or the protesters are doing something, and if you actually research it a little bit more, they're actually using pictures and stuff like that from 2012. There was actually somebody that actually did a reverse image search on one of the pictures they showed of a elderly woman beat up because she was voted for Trump, and it was actually a domestic dispute from back in 2012. But they left that part out. They just kind of clipped the picture and then used the picture and not the actual article. There's just a lot of things that the mainstream media does in order to incite the fears or the jubilation, I guess, within either side, whether it be CNN trying to like make everybody scared of Donald Trump, or Fox News trying to make everybody scared, or everybody like seem like they're stupid for being scared of Donald Trump and actually should be fearful of Hillary Clinton. There are some truths.
It really
to
is
both
pretty
sides.
incredible how uninformed people have been the last couple days.
It really
all
is.
These boohoo videos people make.
I mean, there's a lot of people. I mean, I guess I haven't seen near as many because there's just such an overwhelming number of the boohoo videos. But there's still a lot of even misinformed Trump supporters too. They're just like it's just all. It's a simple thing, click away of finding the information out for yourself. Just a little bit of research, and you can figure it out. Just quit taking the news media as gospel. I mean, if I was to, they're no different than me. If I was to tell you that, Trump said that everybody gets $1 million, are you going to believe it?
Right.
Because you might go check it out and say, okay, wait, is he really going to? I mean, and you would find out that I was wrong. It's no different than me. They put their clothes on the same as I do. So I mean, if you would question me, why don't you question them? They're the exact same way. I mean, they're trying to push a narrative. And if they divide our country like they have so far, then we are weak compared to the government. They can pretty much do whatever they want. But as a united front, we are actually the voice. We are actually the people that they're scared of. They don't want us united.
Oh no, that's why they popularized the fucking police beatdowns and shit.
Exactly.
I mean, there was check this out. Here's a prime example, and this happened here in Arizona. Okay, this happened in our capital city, Phoenix. There was a cop, and this is how it all started. The kid recorded a middle of the situation. So what happened is this guy was on the ground, and the guy was screaming, police brutality, screaming this at the top of his lungs. And that's when the kid starts recording. Oh my God, this cop, you guys, you're not going to believe this. Well, stupid kid didn't realize that this cop has a fucking chest camera on. So he saw, and everybody else saw, the very beginning of the situation. And if it wasn't for that camera, that cop would have probably lost his fucking job. And the kid still sided with the guy on the ground, even though he was wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I actually had somebody on my Facebook. He was talking about because Trump said, I posted, I guess, Trump's Second Amendment thing where he doesn't want to do new laws. He wants to actually just enforce, I vigorously enforce the laws that we actually have.
Yeah, we have really good laws. They just
and they would work. one of the things being background checks is that every state is supposed to send their felony convictions to the federal government to put on the, I guess, no buy list.
Yeah.
80% of the United States. So I guess what is that? There's 50. I don't know what 80% off the top of my head would be.
Right.
But 80% of them.
80% of 50 is 40.
Okay.
No,
40,
it's
40 out of the
no,
50 states.
Yeah,
Oh,
that isn't it?
I don't know.
But
Yeah,
going on
it
to
is. No, you're right. Yeah, it's 40.
Okay. 40 out of the 50 states do not send that information to the federal government. So therefore, all the felons in those 40 states, they can go ahead and buy a gun, just like you with the background check. That law needs to be fixed. We don't need more background checks. We just actually need to fix the background check system we have, and that's what they were saying. And the guy was like, "Well, it's a black friend of mine. He was like, well, that's actually great because I might actually get what he said, but then again, I'd be kind of scared because I'm black." And I was like, it has nothing to do with your race. It has to do with your demeanor. If you come at them crazy when you have a gun, well, yeah, they're gonna shoot you. Like, but if you just hang out in your car, get pulled over, and hey, I have a gun, and whatever, and then you just move on and go about your business. He's like, well, what about that guy on Facebook, that video that was released? I said, you can't believe that. I said that video started after the incident, and you heard the only thing that corroborated that story was the woman that was sitting next to him in the car. You can't people just buy into whatever it is they see. Like, kind of like that story you said, like where even though the truth was there, the kid still sided with the guy on the ground.
Yep. And that when I saw that, I was like, what? I'm like, that stupid little fucking squeaking little bastard, like, just got shown the proof, and he still was like, the cop was in the wrong. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Like, I'm sorry, but if you grab for a gun, that cop has every right to do what he needs to do. And he's lucky the fucking cop didn't shoot him. He's lucky he got pinned to the fucking ground.
Yeah. It's just I just wish more people would do that. I mean, it's the same thing in gaming. These gaming sites, they push a narrative to you as well. That's the reason why, like, whenever we talk about like reviews and stuff, these review sites do the same thing. But that's the reason why you look at multiple reviews versus just one, because you don't want just one person's opinion. If you look at all of them, you can kind of see where the patterns are. What is the problems, rather than somebody else's biased opinion. And I mean, it's just kind of, media in general should be, and what should always be, questioned.
Solu, or whatever your name is. Yes, they are. There are kids mixed up with young adults doing this. I saw videos today where there was kids, like literal, like 15-year-olds, out in the middle of the streets doing shit. So yeah, there are kids doing this as well. And I'm sorry, I told my friend this morning. I said, hey, look, if this was the protest that we saw in New York with Black Lives Matter when it first started, I would be all for it, because that was just a march. They weren't destroying shit. They weren't beating anybody's ass. They were literally doing what they were trying to do and make a point. And I was all for that. The moment I became against it was when they started destroying community businesses. And when you try to destroy your own area, and then you're going to blame the government on that? No, that's not how that works, unfortunately. Like, I hate to tell people this, but destroying your own fucking neighborhoods does not mean the government should have to come in and help you. You fix your shit. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you, Lost. It happened out here, man. See, the thing is, I live in a small town in Arizona, okay, you guys? And I know a lot of the cops out here. I used to work with them before they became police officers.
Why do you know all the cops out there? What you been doing?
I sell drugs, remember?
I don't remember.
Oh,
he
okay.
has to make sure that he's in with them.
And some of these guys I went to school with, they're actually really nice guys. And they've told me that they hear stories out of the Phoenix Squad area. And the shit that they hear, out of Phoenix, out of the shit they hear in Nevada, yes, you're right. They do get twitchy off of that because they don't know what to expect. They don't know if these people are going to come down here and fuck with them. They don't know anything. So, yeah, they do get a little twitchy, and that's where compliance is so important. But what do you know? It just, whatever, right? Compliance.
What do you do?
Compliance, follow the laws, be a good human being, stop being a piece of shit, low-life scumbag. I mean, that would probably get a lot of people ahead in life, but you know, I'm just guessing here. Damn, we got 30 people in here, guys. What else did you want to talk about? Anything?
Let me see. Well, there is of course the whole Total Biscuit thing.
Oh, the Total Biscuit thing. Yeah, you guys were kind of talking about. So what the fuck happened? I know he was kind of with Hillary, right? Like he was for her or whatever.
Yeah, he says he's moderate. That's bullshit. He's a left guy. He's very much
far left.
Yeah, he's far left.
Like how far left are we talking? Are we talking like fucking
like if you voted for Trump, I don't want you as part of my audience.
Oh, so he's a socialist.
Yes, very much. I didn't see that coming. But yeah.
Well, I kind of did. You know,
well, I mean, look at
coming from where he came from. You know.
Yeah, I guess so. Because I mean,
but
Casey
if he's
with his stance, he still welcomes all.
Yeah, Casey Neistat did not see. Now that kind of surprised me. I thought for sure Casey Neistat was going to be a douchebag, but actually he surprised me. He did a really good thing, and he's like, you know what? Congratulations.
Yeah, he tweeted Keem and congratulated him.
Yeah, that was really cool. In fact, I was really shocked too. But as far as like the whole Total Biscuit thing, what you guys have told me so far, that is kind of troubling to see that, and I think he's at that point that
got into it. The thing is, he got into it with his wife too, because his wife voted independent.
Oh, really?
So he got into it with his wife apparently.
Yeah, the actual quote from Total Biscuit is, a lot of YouTubers, streamers, etc. are going to be assuring you over the next few days that they don't hate you and they welcome you if you voted for Trump. Be certain of this. I don't share that opinion.
Now, the reason why this shocks me, okay, is this dude, for as long as I can remember when he first fucking got here, has always been the same stick up his ass, analytical, cynical son of a bitch, all right? And that's what we all loved about him when it came to the gaming industry. I always enjoyed his banters about video games and games that came to him that he thought was absolute shit, and he would break him down into almost nothingness. It was amazing. And then I see him with his political stances, or you tell me about his political stances, should I say, and it almost is complete opposite of what I thought about him. Because you figure someone who's analytical like that and who has pretty good attention to detail would have the common courtesy, if they're going to get into American politics, to look up shit. Well, and to vote, but to look up shit. His wife...
Yeah, he was just saying things that were completely untrue about Trump and all that, so... and of course he follows the whole racism, blah blah blah.
Of course he does. Yeah, of course he does. Because fucking, you know what it is, and it's gonna sound fucking mean, but he's on his way out, and he could give two shits less. That's what it comes down to.
People were bringing that up, yeah.
Yeah, he's on his way out. He knows it, and he's gonna say, you know what? Fuck everybody. I don't want people to miss me, so I'm gonna say the most heinous fucking thing possible, and that's also probably why he got into it with his wife.
Well, I mean, I hope that's what it is. I mean, I in a way.
No,
that's
what I think. That's what it is.
The reason why I say this is because I don't want to. I mean, I'm done with supporting him, because but people like this type of viewpoint, it's like it's not like agree with me. You want a hive mind is for your audience.
Yeah.
And I just can't get behind that. But I don't want to see him in that light, because I mean, like I've seen him so like to be like a pretty good person to go to for like reviews, or even just in-depth analysis of like what you said of like games, or even a situation within the game situation.
Yeah.
To go from that to this, and I kind of identified with him because I'm very analytical with my myself, and so I identified with him, and that kind of like this kind of just throws that all off base, like just like because I would not be I have so many Hillary fans on my page or whatever, and I would never belittle them or even make them feel like that they're stupid or anything like that. That's okay. It's their opinion. They can do what they want to with it.
Yeah.
But wow, it's like it blows my mind that people are like this. I mean,
And
it's almost
people aren't acting like this because he had a different opinion. We're acting like this because he had a different opinion and decided that if the way he acted about other people.
yeah.
All right.
Right.
That's the whole thing. So I know someone always says, "Oh yeah, well you're doing the same thing about him. You unsubscribe to him because he had a different opinion." No, that's not why we unsubscribed to him. That's not why I unfollowed him. It's because he doesn't. It's because he takes this to a whole nother level of intolerant. I mean, he literally became the thing that he's bitching about.
Yes.
Okay,
The
so
intolerance. Yeah.
yeah, see the thing is during Gamergate, okay, he supported a lot of what we were doing. He was really helping out for the most part, trying to push the anti-SJW establishment. Okay, he was trying his best to back up gamers, and that's what he was doing. He wasn't trying to be the middle of the road kind of guy like Boogie. He was literally going into it fucking full bore like everybody was doing at the time. And he helped us for the most part, and he did a really great job doing so. But now that he's got cancer, it's like, oh, well, I'm going to become an SJW myself. At least that's what I'm getting from it.
Yeah. Like how do you go from being for Gamergate to this?
No, I understand. I understand, Bertle, man, what you're saying. Oh, he already apologized? He actually apologized.
I don't know.
If he apologized, no, that changes things. Because if he apologized, that's a good thing. I don't want to discredit someone who apologized.
No, I mean it's a good thing he
But-
apologized, but I mean,
but
it's not,
I'm
it's
just
not gonna
saying-
get me back.
Right. But still, like I said, the moment we start disagreeing with each other and we can move on from it is when we can start progressing forward in this country. Just plain out, that's the basic as the basics, okay? Today I saw a mother kick her son out, 6-year-old son out of the house
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
because
pissed me
of
off.
a fake election that was placed in the school, and the teacher told the mother who her son voted for.
I don't know why the teacher would do that.
This is terrible. Okay, this to me
Because-
is fucking sickening. Shit like that is why I cannot really stand Facebook right now. And I saw that this morning, and that set me off. Then I saw a guy trying to get into his car, and he got his ass beat. He got fucking jumped in the middle of the fucking road. And his car stolen. Like, all because of politics. And these are the same dumb motherfuckers who sit there and say, you guys are racist. You guys are attacking my character. You are
Whatever
generalizing
happened to
me.
Love Trump's hate.
Huh?
Whatever happened to love Trump's hate?
It like went out the window. That's the thing. Is
You
like,
see the before and afters of people's tweets, like Lacey Green and everything.
yeah.
Like before, because Hillary was supposed to win, and so everybody before the election, thinking they were gonna win, it was they already assumed the position of the gracious winner. No, it doesn't matter what you voted for. You participated, and everyone has their own opinion. We should unite and come together no matter what. Then Trump wins, and everyone flies off the fucking rails
That's what I'm saying.
because she got creamed in the Electoral College.
Which is fucking weird to me that these guys were like, oh, you guys, it's okay. We'll be fine. And then here we are pointing out all the facts to disprove them on everything they threw at us for almost 3 years now. And here we are winning an election. And at least I will say this, we all kept it on the forums. We kept it on the social media aspect of the world. We didn't go out and protest. We didn't march the streets with guns. We didn't go out and act like the fools that Fox News, MSNBC, ABC, and all the networks are portraying us to be. We did this shit peacefully through forums. Was there mud flinging? Absolutely. But did we punch someone in the face? Did we kick a 6-year-old little child out to the fucking curb? Did we disown family members? Did we sit there and say that your opinion on politics offends me so much that I want to see you dead. No, we didn't do that shit at all. Here the Democrats, or the leftists, or whatever you want to call them, okay, because I can't say all Democrats are like this, because they're not. These left-wing fucking communists are doing all of what I stated. And they were accusing us of doing this before. But here they are actually getting recorded doing it. I mean, this is definitely a mad world right now. Definitely a mad world right now.
It is, and the media is not stopping. They continue to like put these articles out, like because there's a lot of Facebook articles people are sharing that just simply aren't true. Or if they had take some truth and then kind of like clip it up to make it sound worse than what it is, and it's just continually perpetually fueling the hate between the two sides. And we've got to like basically like Keemstar's video today. I think it was today that he did it. Talking about like whether you hate Trump or whether you hate Hillary or whatever, we've got to work together to like start mending that fence. You know, like bringing us back together, because if we continue down this path, it's going to end up with unnecessary bloodshed over the fact that you won or you lost.
These actions, dude, these actions are the very thing that are thinning out their side when it comes to critical thinkers. I've got a few friends right now that have thought maybe I shouldn't be a Democrat because of what's going on. I've got friends, dude, that are telling me that they are swinging right because of what's going on right now. Even after the election, they've stated they should have voted for Trump because of how childish the teachers are being, how childish the students are being. That's at least a good 6 people in my camp alone that are saying maybe I'm switching to Republican because this is just too crazy for me. They are thinning out their own numbers. So if they want to fucking keep this up, watch every Democrat that doesn't approve with what they're doing slowly become a Republican or a conservative. Hell, even become a libertarian at some points. Whatever it is, they're doing it themselves.
Oh yeah. And they don't like, you try to point it out, like they don't want to see it. They want to just continue this whole demeaning of a person's character simply based on one thing. But I mean, it goes back to like a lot of these people. I'm not saying hashtag not all, but millennials seem to be like the majority of the people pictured in these videos. I don't know what that was.
I brought in a Raven. He said he could add to the conversation. So
millennials seem to be like the majority of the people in these videos rioting, tearing up businesses, like all these different things, or even the ones on social media like calling for the assassination of Trump or the killing of people that supported him.
Yeah.
And it goes back to me. You know, I actually have raised, I guess, a couple of millennials.
Yep.
But they going through like as they're in their sports programs, or not the ones that are like related to school, but the ones related like outside of school, like the competitive ones. They were told we're not keeping score. Everybody's going to get a trophy at the end. Everybody's going to get at least a participation in your science fair project. And me as a parent, I like if my kid brought home a participation award, or they were involved in sports and they got the trophy at the end. My kid didn't show up. My kid took the participation award back to school and said, "Look, I didn't win. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve an award." I made sure of that because they don't deserve an award. There's a winner, and then there's a loser. There's not anything in between. It's either you win or you didn't.
Yeah.
And they've like the society has taught these people that when you don't win or you don't get what you want, something's unfair. It's not fair. It's life's unfair, that it was rigged, or it was just people were being mean or unfair. And that's what's happening now. I mean, that's what they look at it as, because they don't understand the damn electoral college and the reason why we don't go popular vote. That since she won,
the reason why the Senate and the House is popular vote and the president's not.
Well, the Senate and the House is popular because it's based on the individual state that votes them in rather than the country. But if the popular vote with the country would be um, like a few states, because like what we talked about, like California has more people in it than several states combined within the United States. So
Yeah.
that the California would have like such a large voice compared to an Oklahoma. Same with New York. I mean, those states would basically decide everything for us. And so these people don't understand that. And so when they see the numbers being 200,000 more, they're like, well, she won. She won. No, there's a reason for that. Because once your state goes to the majority of being blue or red, then any vote after that is just going to go towards the popular vote because the electoral votes have already been casted.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in order to, I guess, to make it fair, they need to actually split California, New York, those other states like that up to where they're evenly represented. And maybe it might fix the popular vote in the electoral college, making it look a little bit more mirror image of each other. But
Well,
Which it normally is
they
anyway.
have a map. They actually have a county map. So the county map, I think, would be more accurate than the state map that they currently use along with the electoral map, which is just pretty much all squared off to zone. If they use the county map for this, I think that would probably be the best way. Because I was talking to Shayna this morning about this. Right now, I think the way the electoral college is set up was perfect for an era that didn't have as many people. It didn't have much of a populace, right? Now look at us. We're how much bigger than we were back then, right? Per state. It's ridiculous. California alone can swing an entire election. So I think, yes, we need to optimize this to match the populace density. We shouldn't be doing the standard of what was over hundreds of years ago because it still works. That's the problem. Yeah, that map right there, Raven, perfect.
Yeah, so yeah, I posted
But
it in Not Safe for Work.
Yeah, it's
now,
good.
but I mean, are you like suggesting that they base votes or the electoral votes based on county level? Because
Yes,
that would be
Absolutely,
that would
absolutely.
be a lot of electorates.
I know, I
Electorates.
know, I know,
the
I know.
electors are voted in based on the county's elections, and then depending on if the state popular vote is for one side, all the electors tend to go with a certain one, except for Nebraska and
Right.
Maine, which go by county.
And
Well,
not
no,
to
they just have two different districts.
and not to
They don't go by
mention
county. They just go by
right,
two different districts.
right, and not to mention they could start counting as soon as the voting is ended. So whatever.
That just seems like a lot though, because I mean,
We could
Oklahoma
adjust.
has 76
It is.
counties.
I understand that. I really understand that. But it's something that has to be adapted to our population now.
I mean, it's a good suggestion. I mean, at least it
Yeah.
changes something. At least it makes people in each
Plus-
county represented.
Right, and plus,
the way the
Sorry, go
electoral college is just mostly just a way for the people in the rural sides of town to have as much say as the people in the
Larger
in
cities.
the
Well, it's to prevent the
urban
tyranny of the majority.
Yeah.
I mean, if they went based on all the major cities with all the blue spots on the map that I posted, that is roughly 10% of the area of the map, yet 50% of the population.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know hell, I then lost my train of thought. But yeah, I mean I don't know, the popular vote. Oklahoma, well, it's got not Oklahoma, but the United States was never meant to be a majority rules democracy. Not entirely a majority rules democracy or a republic. So I mean that's the reason why they decided to come up with the electoral college, so that way, like what majority doesn't always rule. Like it's not always like if you have an influx of a certain group of people, they can't control everybody else. So they definitely need to rework it to fix it to today's standards or today's population size. The county level would be something definitely to look at. But I mean, I just seem like that would be a hell of a lot of electoral votes to be looking at the end of the election, like you'd end up going way over the 270 needed. You'd be a lot needed.
Yeah.
But that, I mean, that's at least a start where people would actually everybody would feel that they were represented, because look at all the 3 million people in California that voted for Trump, or I don't know how many in New York, or look at the people here in Oklahoma that voted for Hillary, or Texas. I think 46% of the people in Texas voted for Hillary. Their vote just kind of went nowhere. They're not represented. So it definitely affects people that are of opposite ideologies, I guess, or whatever, in those red states. If they're more Democrat, it's definitely going to like quiet them. And same with the people that are Republicans in those blue states, it quiets them. So I would like to see, like what you said, like maybe a county, but or something to where these people that are in those states, whether it be if you're in a Democrat in a Republican state or vice versa, to where those voices are heard just as much too.
Yeah, see, and the thing what this will do is this will actually minimize discontinuing count. So that actually happened for Arizona, for those of you that don't know, and I think it actually happened for a few other states as well. They get so far in the middle of the count to where if it's all just one side, they'll actually stop counting, and they'll just continue on with the rest of the map. They usually go back through and count days after, but what's the point of if your candidate already conceded? You know what I mean? If they already said, fuck it, I give up. I think that's wrong, personally. I don't agree with it. I don't think that should be allowed. I know it's a lot of paper to count, but you know what? That's part of the fucking process.
Well, why can't we? I mean, we live in a technological society. Why can't we vote in a way to where nobody has to count anything?
I mean,
Let the computer count. I mean that.
Well, those boxes.
Well, not. I mean, we need to rework the boxes. Is what I'm saying, because
Right.
there's problems with those boxes. So, but I mean, rework it to where we actually have a reliable voting system that's done electronically, to where we don't have to worry about people hand counting or whatever like that. Like, these votes are registered and they're registered correctly, and it's almost like an instantaneous feed to where we know exactly how people are voting. To where we don't have to wait. What it was, like Florida back in 2000, we waited a month or close to it before everything actually got finalized.
Yeah.
I kind of feared that it was going to go that way this time because of the way how close it was in Florida, but then it started swinging more to a different direction. But we've got to get away from that too. I mean, that's kind of antiquated in comparison to where we are technologically in America.
I think what it would be good is put everything on a digital counter, like you're saying, and then have, say, like maybe a room full of people, maybe if that, go through each of the documents online, or better yet, have each of the ballots with names on them, and then as soon as you send in your vote, it goes to that digital inbox, say like a Dropbox or whatever, with a counter on top of it or some shit. Of course, I'm not saying use Dropbox by any means. I'm just saying something digital that could be counted a much faster rate. Especially if you would go by county, you know what I mean? Because county, that means everybody would literally be counted in, and that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. We definitely wouldn't be going through the issues that we're going through now, or what we went through then. Right now with the boxes, they do have a lot of issues, and I got a question for those of you that are actually watching this stream. Do you believe that when that IT guy came up on the jury and said that, yes, the votes can be manipulated, do you think Trump would have still won had that situation not been exposed earlier in the election cycle? Secondly, do you believe that when the situation of the boxes occurred, do you believe that if we didn't actually address those issues to the live media, do you believe that Trump would still have won? I don't think so. I strongly
I'm not
believe...
right. I think Trump was right when he said he wouldn't necessarily blindly follow the results because he knew his candidate had already rigged one election anyway.
Yep.
So why? Of
Exactly.
course, he wouldn't just say, "Yeah, I'll just accept whatever happens." If it turned out he lost, what he would be right to say we need to recount. We need to make sure that this is right because of precedent.
Yeah.
But you're asking if he didn't know that, would he still have? Would he have won if that?
No,
story
if
didn't
he
come out?
if no, I'm saying if these both situations of what I just mentioned, if these situations were never brought up, let's say that we don't know still. Let's just say we were playing ignorant, okay? Say we don't know that this was going on and it was never addressed. Do you believe Trump would have won?
That's a tough call because I mean there's really a lot of people that there. I mean he spoke a message to those that didn't that actually listened to the message, um, of change an actual true change of what everybody like a lot of popular opinion of, throughout America as far as getting rid of career politicians and stuff like that. So it's hard to say that if he would or wouldn't have. I think it would have been maybe closer, maybe. It's hard for me to say yes or no for like a definite. I think it would have definitely been closer as far as the electoral portion of it.
Right, right. Because during the court proceedings of the one guy that came forward that worked in the Pentagon as their tech guy, he had admitted that the software that they used was easily accessed by members of Congress to swap votes. I actually followed this case, and it was interesting to what he had to say. Now, I don't know if everything was spot on. I can't honestly sit there and tell you guys that whatever he said was 100%. But I still don't think if this guy never came forward, along with the whole box setup that was being exposed, I don't think he would have won had we been ignorant to the entire situation. I mean, there was a lot of things brought to light this election. In fact, this election alone is definitely the most telling. But before I go any further, Raven, what did you want to add to this? I know there was quite a bit you wanted to add in. You were saying you wanted to add into some certain parts, so go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I asked to kind of hop in because back at the part of the stream where you guys were talking about kind of the protest that was like mentioned, and I figured that I especially want to mention the fact that there's a lot of proof going around that it could be possible a lot of the protests are being funded by George Soros. Do you guys know who he is?
Of
Yeah.
course we know, yeah.
Oh yeah, we all
Yeah, I mean, for example, just today, Fox 7 Austin.com, they reported that Austin protesters arrived on a big line of charter buses. And then there were things where they were marching through the street, and on one of the things it said, "Text Never Trump to this number," for to show your support. And so the guy texts the number, goes like "Never Trump" to the number, and it's like, "Text this for more information." Texts it, and then kind of goes through the website it shows to find that it leads directly to an organization George Soros founded years ago.
I did not know that.
Because George Soros funds Black Lives Matter. I mean, he's very well known to fund the anarchists within different countries, like the uprisings and stuff, to create turmoil. Because the more turmoil that happens,
kind of his shtick.
Yeah,
what
he
does.
Also kind of helps make like his friends money because of contracts of going back and refixing shit and everything like that. So.
He's friends with too many of the wrong people and the right people. He's one of those guys that has friends in like the contracting sector of construction. He's got friends in arms trade. He's been known to sell arms to the enemy. Like, this dude is known for a lot of shit, and somehow he's allowed to live amongst us. It's amazing.
In fact, Russia has banned George Soros' charity as a security threat to their government stability.
Oh yeah, he's banned from Russia altogether.
Like, you do know that Putin wants his head, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
he stated that in an article, dead or alive, preferably dead. No
Yeah,
joke.
news like Russia announces a warrant for arrest of George Soros if he ever enters the country. Things that something
Yep.
like that
Yeah,
along those
Putin's not
lines.
playing around.
Anyway,
He's
yeah, in fact, I'm going to post a link to Donald Trump's kind of subreddit. I think he posted there for like an Ask Me Anything a while ago. There's a lot of interesting information that people post there all the time. I'll put it in the not safe for work.
the Donald. It's the Donald. Oh, so there was a tweet that happened today about the protesting. He was speaking up against it, and then he realized that he was president, and then he says, "Hey, these young kids are exercising their rights." Now, a lot of people were kind of thrown through this today. It was kind of the topic. People were screenshotting it, and I'm just gonna say this. Trump realizes, I think it finally hit him at the White House today. He's now president. He cannot post that shit anymore. He cannot get away with that shit anymore. So he's got to be more presidential, and I think that's what is going through his mind right now. So just keep that in mind with a lot of people.
Of course, the one tweet that people are saying was attacking the protesters, specifically words it as professional protesters.
Yeah.
Now professional protesters incited by the media are protesting. Very unfair. Of course, that's referring to the protesters being paid by like George Soros foundations to go out. They're getting funding from these guys because they have full-on websites being created and maintained by George Soros foundations. It's not just George Soros in a way. I mean, several media organizations,
He's
several
still
other
responsible for the initial seed.
several other celebrities. Of course, good on him for going back and say, they have passion for our love here. I have it open now. Love the fact that the small groups of protesters last night have a passion for our great country. We will all come together and be proud.
Yeah, he was actually referring to the people that on that tweet that are actually out there protesting, not rioting.
Yeah, I mean, for example, day two, I was watching Fox News the other day just for fun, I guess, and they had a guy going around interviewing other people. The first night, it was just a meme fest of crap. Nobody was taking it seriously. They were just shouting random things that came to their head all night. But the second night, there were actually a few people who were protesting peacefully, and one person they interviewed said it was like, I'm only out here because I'm kind of concerned about certain things with the environment. Honestly, I don't think he's that bad. I think a lot of the anarchists are just dead wrong. I'm only here to kind of raise awareness for what I think is important, and that's it.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of people that kind of stick around, and that's a good thing, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there was
the crazy people that you see smashing windows, that's going to die down very quickly. There's no hope of that surviving too long. It doesn't make sense
there was
for it to do so.
There was okay, so that same protest that you're talking about with Texas this morning, so there was a guy along the same borders that said pretty much the same thing. He says, I don't think Trump is that bad of a guy. He says, but I just want to be here to support these guys. I don't believe what these guys are saying is right, but you know what? I think Donald Trump is right. We need to come together and make America great again. That's what he said. And he was just right there along with them, shouting out the stupidity, but he was just there to show support. He wasn't there to troll them or to mock them. He was just saying, I want to bring people together. Donald Trump was right. I think that is probably the best way we could go about the situation in general, if we had to be honest about the situation.
Yeah, I mean, another great example is all of the posts on the Donald Reddit, the subreddit that I posted. Are people going, I voted for Hillary. Now I'm like looking at these protests. I realized what a big mistake that was. Let me find one. Give me a minute. Here we go. Person posts like protest blocks hospital exit in Minnesota. I regret voting for Hillary. This is not democracy. I think that one was on the all page of Reddit for a bit, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Yeah, that's really that seems to be the census. That's what I was talking about earlier. Actually, was I got friends that have told me that they don't believe that they should have went left this voting season. That they should have went more right
Yeah,
because of the
here's one saying.
craziness that they're witnessing their fellow Democrats do on the ground floor right now, and they're kind of ashamed of them. So
There's actually a meme out there that shows, I guess, because marijuana, I guess, was actually legalized in a lot of states.
Nevada, yeah, it was Nevada here on
Uh,
this side.
whether in California for
California.
recreational, and I mean, and then Florida for medical, and there are, I think, Arkansas or something.
For medical, yeah.
But they said that congratulations to marijuana for winning more states than Hillary Clinton. Because I mean, it's actually kind of sad because I mean that the marijuana issue is a very
What was the other joke?
kind of on kind of
Donald.
like a it's kind of like a liberal based thing to where like to I mean not everybody, not hashtag not all, but I mean the liberal side wants to legalize the marijuana in those states, where a lot of the conservative states like Oklahoma and stuff, they want to keep it locked down, you know, it's class 2 drugs or whatever. So it's kind of odd to see those states, the same states that actually voted for marijuana, a lot of them actually voted for Donald Trump, which was kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, what was the joke? Donald Trump's county electoral map has better coverage than Verizon. Can you hear us now?
Yeah,
Did you guys see that one?
yeah, it was pretty funny.
It just, I mean, a statement was made, and I just hope that we can get to the point to where we can actually see the benefit of this statement as a whole, to make it to where the people on the left or the people that are feeling like they end of the world's coming or whatever, and the people that are actually over exuberant that Donald won, I hope that they can, whatever Trump does or whoever he puts in the cabinet spaces and the House and Senate and stuff, I hope that they can actually do things that don't just benefit a certain group of people, that they actually that their choices
Well,
actually.
these groups didn't vote for him. The only
Well, no,
people who
I'm-
voted
I-
for
I'm-
him
no, I'm
was
not saying
the
that.
people.
I'm not-
So
But I mean, I still don't think that should like you should only get to be benefit from the people that you vote for, because we are a nation of all people, whether that be, you know, one opinion or the other. I just hope that that can happen so that way people can see that, you know, a change was needed. You know, because I mean, we definitely needed a change. Whether you thought it was Donald Trump or whether you thought it was, a lot of people thought Bernie Sanders, because he was against the establishment as well.
Yeah,
We needed a change one way or the other, and I hope that that change can actually happen, and happen in a way to where we can collectively as a whole in our nation see that going forward, we need to make sure that whenever we vote for even local offices or even people that in our states that are going on to the federal government to represent us, that we vote for the people that want to keep that change going, or to continue that change, continue uh, bringing us back to where we were, to what made us great. So we're not. It's not talking about making us great from like. I want to go back to the '60s.
yeah, obviously.
It's talking about being great as far as like in the world's eyes, or even in our eyes, in our to be where we're.
yeah. I
we're
want
all
us to be
living
proud of
comfortably.
us, dude. I want us to be
Um,
fucking prideful of this country for once, not fucking hateful.
Yeah,
I want to see that happen. Whether it be Donald Trump that does it, or even the next president or whatever. I want to see that happen, because we need to stop the everyday thing that we've been getting for the past however many years. I mean, it's been forever since we've actually had somebody that seemed to actually care about the national side of it rather than the world. So I just hope that we can see that through either Donald Trump. I'm thinking that we're going to, because that's the reason why I voted for him. But if we don't, then the next one. I mean, let Donald Trump be like the leaping point to where the next president elected, whether it be Donald Trump or the next person, is also a change candidate. You know, that we can start moving back in that direction, and start making us proud of us again.
yeah. One quote that I kind of found interesting from recently with all of this, from Cenk Uygur of all places, in fact, was "Establishment window, meet my brick." Just thought that kind of fits in to the idea of why
Well,
They
yeah,
were
I
Donald
mean,
they're
Trump
pretty
won.
fucking salty over at TYT right now.
It was so funny. Okay, you
Oh,
know,
yeah, I can.
oh
I've
my
seen that.
god, have you seen like the Sargon of Akkad, Anna Kasparian thinks she's better than you kind of
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Donald Trump's Salt Mine Incorporated.
The you know, it's funny because Chink is always. So I tweeted at him or earlier this week, and I was like, "Hey man, you've literally fallen from where you once were."
Right.
TYT used to be pretty good.
That's what I hear.
They started off really well. They knew what they were doing. They became anti-establishment. They weren't, alt left or alt right. They were pretty center of the road. And somewhere down the line, they lost their way. They don't know what happened, but they used to report on both situations. One of the biggest reasons why Cenk left his network that he was an anchorman for was because of how one-sided it was, because of how biased it was. So he started TYT to get away from that, to get away from, going full left or going full right. He wanted to be progressive. But as you can see now with TYT, they are more left than ever. They're not progressive. Being progressive is being open to ideas, being able to accept change, regardless if it's left or right, right? And Cenk has gone fucking full retard this time around. I don't know what the fuck happened to the guy. He literally left a network for reporting and doing what he's doing now. I'm lost.
Oh,
That just
recent
that kind
video.
of like with the Lacey Green, the tweet about we're all together, let's build. Then all of a sudden Trump wins, like fuck you people, you like it's like you become the person you're running from, and just like you said, Chink. I mean, he ran from that type of mindset to start up and become that exact same type of mindset.
Yeah.
It just I don't understand how people can't see that, like how you can't see that as far as like internalized, where Chink can't see that he's doing that himself.
Also, one interesting thing that I saw today was how the Young Turks, they posted a video titled "Trump Immediately Backpedals on Wall Promise and More," something like that. And they're quoting an article, and they misquote the article, and they say that now Trump is saying that he doesn't want to do the full wall, and that's not at all. Wait, here, let me find
Yeah,
the
I
YouTube
saw that.
video where some guy was breaking that apart. I'll put it in the Not Safe for Work.
Yeah. I just, dude, I wish they'd go back to where they were because they were a lot better. They were truly progressive at that point. I mean, this is not progressiveness at all. This is completely left field bullshit. They are literally the video embodiment of what the conservative Tribune would be if they had a channel. Like,
Yeah, there it is in the chat.
yeah. Oh, I know who he's talking about. Oh, I know. Okay, I see that. I've seen that guy. What's his name? Something red. Red something.
Red pill.
Red pill. Yeah.
Red pill philosophy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I just recently started kind of
Yeah, that
chiming
was
on his radio.
uploaded 9 hours ago.
He uploads on the RT stuff too. I saw a few of his videos end up on the RT channel. That's actually a really good channel. If you guys don't know about it, go check out RT.
I don't know about that. I'll do that right now.
RT. Okay, so RT just did a live stream with Snowden that I just watched. Was pretty damn good. He's
They're live now.
Yeah, they do live streams of Snowden. They did one for Assange. Listen to Assange talk. They do a lot of the WikiLeaks interviews. They're the ones that do it.
I also heard that there is talk that how Trump wants to prosecute or hire a special prosecutor or place a special prosecutor to investigate Hillary and
Yeah.
well, there's actually thought process going through that Obama's last day or close to his last day in office is going to pardon Hillary for all her past
No,
transgressions.
why doesn't he just go all John Adams and appoint some midnight judges? Poor Marbury.
But if that happens, I mean, then he can't withhold that promise. He can't uphold that promise because he wouldn't be able to go after her because pardon from the president is absolute. So they would have to just wait for her to break the law again.
Of course, for him to pardon
So,
her
like a
has
week.
to be an admittance of guilt.
Well, yeah, but I mean, she can. I mean, it's not going to be really anything to worry about if she admits guilt and then gets pardoned.
I mean,
It
her
might
only
be
hope
because
for
he
any
might not do it because that might be even more damaging
Yeah,
to
yeah.
To his
I
party.
mean,
and everyone's perception.
her only hope of any political career whatsoever after this is to just get ignored for a while and then come back later on something else, like just go to the Senate again or something.
Oh, I
And
think
she's
I
like
think
70.
I think she's done with politics. As far as
Honestly,
like holding
I'd be very surprised if she does anything ever again.
Yeah,
I mean, her foundation is just going to collapse because now foreign governments have no reason to donate to it randomly.
it's going to end up being more, she's going to be more or less like what Bill Clinton does. You know, the humanitarian things are just.
I mean, you saw the
being-
Saudi
being in
prince
that.
actually try to hit her up for that money back, right? I thought that was kind
No,
of
I
funny.
didn't. Did he actually?
Yeah, there was
Wow.
an article done about it, saying that he wanted his money back. I'm like,
He-
damn,
he's not-
$25 million and you want your money back? What a
You
dickhead!
mean he's not going to get his political favors anymore? Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
darn. And you know what though? Like I know Trump's president, but I really hope he like keeps going at that guy the way he has been, where he was like, "Oh, what's wrong? Daddy's money isn't no good in U.S. politics anymore."
Yeah.
That was pretty damn good. I like that. I was like, yeah.
Have you seen the first 100 days plan that he released? It's actually
He's got
pretty
some good
interesting.
stuff lined up.
No,
He
he
actually
does.
does.
Yeah.
I
There's
mean,
actually
my
a lot of really
favorite,
good things in there.
my favorite especially is the constitutional amendment to impose term limits on all members of Congress. I think that's probably the
I
biggest
hope Congress
thing.
votes for it.
Oh, of course they won't.
But see, that's the thing is like I know I'm against. I really hate executive orders unless they're just absolutely needed.
Yeah, his other
some
thing is
This
day
is
one,
needed.
just
getting rid of all.
some presidents overuse them. Some like George Bush had like a ton of them. But he can actually, considering he has to do the Supreme Court judge, it'll be like basically a 5-4 conservative split. If he actually appoints the right one and has the right connections with him, if Congress won't pass it, he could actually sign the executive order. And the only way executive orders become law is if they're challenged by and sent to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court upholds it. So he could effectively like give Congress a chance to pass it and then circumvent them if they don't.
I mean, I just another thought. The proposing a constitutional amendment to impose term limits was especially going to be shot down when Mitch McConnell, the Republican Senate Majority Leader, said no already.
I want to be here forever.
Mitch
Well,
McConnell,
that's the thing,
fucking
though.
idiot.
I want to
though.
do nothing.
But that's the
forever.
thing, though, is like even Mitch McConnell and all them and I know he did say that, but towards the last couple of weeks of the campaign, have actually come out in support of Donald Trump. So,
Well, yeah,
I
they
mean,
have to. Who else are they going to support? They don't want to end up like the Democratic Party with no leader.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
it could-
So they-
I'm hoping that his support was more than just that. More than likely, you are 100% correct on that.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that there's some support between the power, the top office all the way down, so that way things can get done, whether they be just simple laws or even just part of his 100-day plan or whatever. But laws need to be passed, because that was the problem that we had with the gridlock with Obama, is that even though I disagreed with the guy, he couldn't. There's no way he could
Dude,
actually
he
implement
got
anything.
filibustered
'cause
left
he got-
and right for
yeah.
the shit he was trying to do for us.
And
So
he got
he said,
railroaded.
"Fuck
I mean,
it."
not all was good, but not all was bad either. That he
Yeah,
was trying to do.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But just because of who he was, that he was a Democratic president, they just said no to everything, and it's kind of. I hope that we need to, that's the kind of thing that we need to get away from in our government, to where we can actually everybody can work together and actually come up to some sort of fix, so we can actually get things done. We can actually start growing again.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you look at Obama's first term. All right, Obama's first term is when he tried the hardest. His first term, he tried to make sure, because everybody was getting fed up with Bush. You have to remember that Bush was the fucking enemy at one point with us. Okay, he came into a president seat that fucked over our nation in a big way, not just domestically, but overseas. Like, he fucked everybody around. Obama played fucking maid to everything that guy did to help clean up shit. He also tried to get bills passed that were in our favor, and Congress said, go fuck yourself. The Democrats wanted nothing to do with Obama's ideas during his first term. Then he goes into his second term. Now he's being blocked by everybody in the Republican Party on everything. It was like, this guy couldn't get a break one way or another. So I could see where he got fed up and said, you know what? Fuck you guys. You guys do it. I'm tired. I got Obamacare in there. Weed's legal in these states. Go fuck yourselves.
Of course, Obamacare was passed without a single Republican vote.
That was a midnight meet and greet, sir, in a back alley somewhere of some sort of weird things.
Yeah,
That was
it
some
got
bullshit.
posted. It got I word blanked, but during a session where they had something to do with, if they went with it as a budget, they wouldn't need a 60 vote majority. They would only need a 51 vote majority, anything to do with like finances. And they went through that loophole, and they didn't even have a single Republican vote on it, and they passed it. I think a quote from Nancy Pelosi from the area that I remember like everybody talking about on
That we don't need
the
to know what's in
radio,
it.
all the talk Yeah,
we
we
need
don't
to
even
pat.
know what's in it. Like, we need to
But we have
pass
to.
it so we know what's in it.
Yeah,
Something
we need
like
to
that.
pass the bill so we know what's in the bill. I'm like, yeah, that's not really
Oh my-
typically how those things work, but
Did you see that bill though? It's thicker than a fucking Bible, dude.
yeah, it's like
Thicker
I
than
would hate to be
200
the one that had
books.
to read that thing.
And okay, so the one of the things that Obama did was he took all of his staff outside and handed that bill off page by page, connected to each member of his cabinet, and had it stretched out just to show them how it's impossible to read a bill in less than 24 hours. Like, that's how thick that is. And that's when he noticed that there were even he said, yeah, I saw where members of my cabinet tried to adjust this bill for them. And there were certain parts of the bill that were crossed out, lined out, filled in. Like, it looked like a fucking crayon marker fucking thing of a 2-year-old went over it. Unfortunately, that's just how it was handled. Everybody saw that shit. It was kind of fucked up. But anyways, I think we can end this. We're coming up on the almost 2-hour mark, you guys. It's been
Aw.
a really well-rounded conversation. I think we covered both pretty well. We did games at the very beginning, the first hour, and then it just kind of crawled into politics. I know everybody's getting tired of...
We could switch to philosophy.
Another time, Raven. In fact, we could probably do a one-on-one or something in the future, sir. I know you and I could probably talk about that shit forever. But on anywho... do you guys want to do any particular closing, or do you just want to say goodbye?
Subscribe to my meme page.
Subscribe to his meme page. Rags, you have any more videos coming out of the pipeline? I saw you just upload some new ones.
I'll have some probably soonish.
Also, Rags, I just gotta say, now that you're here, you're going to have an explosion of new subscribers since those last 2 videos, because my voice is the first thing you hear in both of them. That's bound to draw like a load of people. Believe
I'm
me.
looking forward to it immensely.
Because
Big league.
He put his
It'd be
big league.
huge.
Big league. Because everybody knows it. You know it. I know it.
We all know it.
Believe me.
What about you, Rambo? Are you going to be well enough for more videos in the future? Or are we
Well, I'm
still waiting to
actually-
see what's going on with you?
Well, I mean, here lately I've actually been, like, not knock on some wood here, but been actually feeling better to the point to where I'm not like constantly with the headache. So I am gonna start trying to like maybe get some videos together. I'm possibly going to start like with maybe Dishonored 2 because I'm gonna try to start playing that a little bit tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then kind of go from there and see what happens after that. See how things go with me and my health and stuff, and try to get things together to where if everything's going well, I can just upload it. If not, then kind of hold off on them until I can.
All right, sounds good. Everybody, thank you for watching. We are on episode 30. Thank you guys for kicking it back with us at 30 fucking viewers. Jesus, viewers. See how I said that, viewers.